y'all do, because y'all are standing up, so.
I am. I know we have to.
Oh, good. Now it's
Thank you. I'm gonna bring
Oh, no.
I think we waited like almost 10 minutes.
Huh? We thought you were waiting to cool the room down still. Yeah, no, you didn't. You didn't.
You may be seated. All right, Ms. Pittman, you still have the witness under representation.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Beltran, we kind of left off, you had, been arrested in Utah and, had talked to the detective in this case in Utah, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and, have you been in jail since then?
Yes,
Since
ma'am.
Utah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want to backtrack just real quickly. We had mentioned this before, and I'm showing you, Mr. Beltran was the marked States Exhibit 335. Can you just flip through that? Do you recognize what that is?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. You mentioned earlier that you went and got a passport. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you fill out a passport application?
No, ma'am.
You did not.
Not there. Well, I did there. I had to fill something out there, but before I got there, like I already had papers filled out to give them.
Okay, so you've never seen your actual passport application paperwork?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you said you've been in jail since being arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to also go back to, we had mentioned you posting on social media. You were still posting on Instagram shortly after the report of Maricela going missing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You took a break for a little while. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
In hindsight, can you recall some of the things that you posted?
Like I was told just to keep away from the areas I was staying in, so I was just posting old videos of me being like Dallas, Houston, Seattle.
Do you remember posting some type of post concerning you didn't know anything about Maricela, people talking about you, they don't know you, things like that?
On the lines of that.
And do you remember posting an Instagram post that said fuck 1-2 or fuck 12?
That's what I recall.
Okay. And do you recall, you said you're told, being encouraged to continue posting things and recording music. Do you remember releasing a song during that time period?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that song called?
POI,
What did that stand for?
person of interest.
And what were the lyrics of that song?
I don't remember the whole song.
What was it about?
It was about basically saying that what they're trying to accuse me of, that's not me.
in retrospect and knowing everything that we know now, what do you think about your decision to do that?
Dumb. Stupid.
How do you think the family felt about that?
I can't even imagine.
Now, music is your thing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your rap name?
50-50 Chuck.
50-50 Chuck. What does that stand for?
The 50-50 part?
Yeah.
It was a growing up, they used to always call me a mutt because I was mixed with black and Mexican, so they used to call me 50-50 because I'm half black and Mexican.
As far as some of your lyrics of your songs, what were they about, primarily?
You mean the ones I released or just in general, like me just
Just the
making
ones
music, period?
you released.
I remember,
Let me ask you specifically, what is Picture Me This about?
Picture Me This is just it's just a statement of like, I never used to be this guy before. And it's like, now picture me this, like picture me living this lifestyle that I'm living now. So did you ever picture this?
Okay, that's the gist of the song, but there are some pretty derogatory sexual lyrics in there, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that, and not to excuse that, is that part of just kind of that rap lifestyle?
Yes, ma'am.
You released a song called SOS, what did that stand for?
Straight on sight.
Straight on sight, what does that mean?
It was really towards the people I used to rap with. It was just hip hop, just a track that we were just going back and forth on. I'm letting them know that, I see y'all looking at me, cause we just kind of fell apart from this group. When I was incarcerated, they took my brand and made money with my t-shirts, my logos and stuff, so I was still kind of mad about all that stuff.
And the straight on sight really kind of indicates if you see him, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Knowing you and what you testified to before, if you are to get in that kind of conflict, what are you gonna do?
Get what?
Like a conflict where a fight. Like if somebody approaches you to fight, or tries to pick a fight with you, what are you gonna do?
I'm not a fighter at all, not an aggressor or nothing like that. It's just like I said, it's a rap battle. It's all just lyrics. It's not nothing I'm actually gonna do. I'm not that guy at all.
Now, we've met several times, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Probably 5 times in the last 6 months or so?
Yes, ma'am. Basically.
And every time we've met, what have I told you that I wanted from you?
The truth.
Did we ever have a deal in place for you to testify in exchange for your testimony?
No, ma'am. You've been trying to talk to me for a long time, and I've been denying it. Actually.
And when you say denying it, I mean, what are you talking about? What specifically? Because you and I have talked several times, and you told me.
I'm saying prior to that though, because I had 2 attorneys before this, and they reached out to me that you wanted to talk, and at that time I was still being selfish, not trying to tell the truth, not thinking about the family that lost their daughter. So with time though, as I got close to talk to my little girl, it just made me think about them a lot. And that's why I reached out to Myra. Like, man, if you could reach out to you, I would love to bring out the truth.
You know you're going to prison for your role in this, is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
And you know that it could be possibly up to 20 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you accept your involvement and responsibility?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you've talked about, your daughters quite a bit. You talked about some of your motivations for coming forward and testifying, and like I said, you don't know what that means in the long term, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been the best father as far as showing up, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And, were you aware that Maricella's father's here in the courtroom today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you know he's the kind of father that was there every day. Every day for his daughter, you know that, right? Can I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Now, you may not have been able to stop the murder of Maricela Botello, but you could have stopped this, right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you want to tell that man back there, sitting there watching this trial? What do you want to say to him today?
Judge, I object to the relevance of what he wants to say to my dad at this stage of the trial.
Sustain.
That's witness, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Judge, Mr. Beltran, first and foremost, you just told members of the jury that you wanted to accept responsibility for your involvement, and you know you're going to prison, correct?
Yes, sir.
Judge, may I approach?
You may.
Defense. Okay, thank you so much. Let me show you what's marked as defense number 3. This is you, correct?
Yes, sir.
You're much smaller than Lisa made you appear. You look huge on this, don't you? You don't think you look huge on this?
You mean the picture that's blown
Yes,
up?
sir. No, just, you look monstrous, don't you think?
No, sir.
Isn't that what Detective Ramirez told you? They're gonna think you're a monster? Remember her telling you that?
Not that I recall.
Did you listen to your interview with Detective Ramirez and Ortiz?
Yes, sir.
Remember her telling you, asking you, are you a monster? Remember her asking you that?
No, sir.
You know?
No, sir.
I'll let you listen to your video again. I'm sorry, Judge.
Sir.
Pardon me, man. You told so many versions, I just want to make sure that we cover all the different versions that you told. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you told different stories, right? To different people, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because you told that one story, right?
Yes, sir.
You told that, because he knew you were with Maricela, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harris, can I
Yes.
trouble you to use
Two,
two pages?
yes, ma'am. I will.
Thank
I
you,
think I have 2 up there, but I'm gonna do more than 2, Judge.
thank you. That way my door isn't
You know what?
permanently.
I don't have to do all that, Judge. We'll get right to the point. And I wanna make sure I get right to the point. And you say you don't recall Detective Ramirez asking you if you were a monster in your interview. Did they interview in Utah?
Yes, sir.
All right. You remember talking to her and Detective Ortiz?
Yes, sir.
All right. You will agree with me that you never said anything to anybody about Lisa being jealous until Detective Ramirez brought that up. Remember her saying that?
Yes, sir.
She said that, didn't she?
And who said it?
Detective Ramirez. She was the first one brought up Lisa being jealous, wasn't she? Before you started giving this version about Lisa being jealous. Would you agree with that? Let me rephrase it. None of the other stories that you told, when you told Dak that me and Maricela had sex in the car, did you tell me you dropped her off or she left?
I told him I dropped him off.
You dropped her off by Baylor.
By Baylor?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was by Baylor.
Okay. You told her you dropped her off somewhere downtown.
Yes, sir.
You told Freddie you didn't even know, or you didn't have anything to do with it, right?
I didn't say I didn't know her. I said I didn't have anything to do with her being missing. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you told the members of the jury all your involvement in this case, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, and other than, I mean, you've been to Wilma Hutchins before, like with the halfway house,
Yes, sir.
but as far as helping to put her body out there, you had nothing to do with that, did you?
No, sir.
And anything to do with her body, you had nothing to do with it, correct?
Great.
Whether it was helping Lisa and Nina or anybody else, you had nothing to do with her body. The last time you saw her body, you were telling members of the jury she was over in Mesquite, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I think you told the members of the jury that you lied because you were afraid you were going to get in trouble.
Yes, sir.
So is it safe to say you'll lie when it's convenient for you to lie to get out of trouble?
No, sir.
Well, that's what you did, isn't it? You said you lied. Because either you told Dax a lie, or you told the members of the jury a lie. Right? And today you're saying you told Dax a lie, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're telling the members of the jury right now you had absolutely nothing to do with Marcella's death or moving her body, right?
Nothing to do with that. I have no reason to do anything like that.
Okay.
But no motive, no anything.
You know what wrongful conviction is?
No, sir. Can you explain to me, please?
Well, wrongful conviction is when someone is convicted for something they didn't do. Right? Isn't it true that you've already pled guilty to tampering with Marcella's body? Isn't that true? You pled guilty to tampering with evidence, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Hoping that they're going to dismiss the murder case, right? Right?
I didn't. My involvement in the.
My question to you is, you know they're going to dismiss your murder case, right? As long as they believe you testified truthfully, correct?
Yes, sir.
And because of that, you're telling members of the jury that you swore, because when you pled guilty to tampering with evidence, you swore you were telling the truth, right? Remember having to, remember them putting you on the oath?
Yes, sir.
When you pled guilty?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
When you pled guilty, to tampering with evidence, a corpse, right?
Yes, sir.
You pled guilty in front of a judge just like this, right?
Well, it was a male.
Okay, but it was a judge.
Yes, sir.
And you swore to tell the truth, right?
Yes, sir.
And they made you plead guilty to tampering with evidence, right?
No, they didn't make me. I pled.
But why would you plead guilty to something you didn't do?
My involvement of not saying anything, seeing what I seen, makes me guilty of being in the presence of everything happening.
Who told you that lie? Who told you that? Ma'am, 1 second, you're,
You may.
I got it. No, that's not it. I got it. May I approach, Judge?
You may.
Let me get this mark. Now, this is not your indictment, but the indictment, remember them having you sign what's called a judicial confession? You remember signing paperwork when you did your plea?
Yes, sir.
And one of those pieces of paperwork was a judicial confession, where you basically swore, you signed an affidavit saying that on or about the 5th day of October in the county of Dallas, that you did then and there, knowing that an offense had been committed, to wit murder, altered, destroyed, or concealed a record, document, and thing, to wit, a human corpse, referring to Maricela, with the intent to impair it, vitality, liability, and availability as evidence in any subsequent investigation or official proceeding related to the offense. In short, you pled guilty to tampering with evidence, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
So now you're telling them the jury you lied to a judge? When did you go out to Wilmington?
Your Honor, objection, I would ask, counsel to allow the, defendant to answer, or I'm sorry, the, witness to answer the question.
I'll rephrase, Judge, I'm sorry. I'll let it.
Please continue.
Yeah. You pled guilty to tampering, even though you didn't, based on what you've told us today, if we're to believe you, you haven't done anything wrong. Right? Is that correct?
No, sir.
But you're willing to go to prison on a lot.
I'm not lying, sir.
So how are you involved in the tampering? Tell us.
I was there when it happened, but by me telling Lisa to figure all this out, that's my involvement in all that whole situation right there.
Well, according to you, you're really present. Oh, you think that because you told Lisa, you're saying you told Lisa, figure this out. That makes you guilty of tampering?
That's right.
Did you tell her to get rid of the body?
No, I didn't. No, sir.
Did you tell her or anybody else to take that body down to Wilmer?
No, sir.
All right, let's be specific, because I want to make sure we understand. You're saying that, I think you told the members of the jury already that you lied because you didn't want to get in trouble, right?
Yes, sir. Very.
And that's why you gave the version that you gave, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to talk about that version, and I may have to have you listen to your interview with Ortiz and Ramirez, because there were a lot of things that were said in that interview that I want to make sure you remember. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Because when you first started with the interview, you gave them the same version you gave Dex, right? Do you remember?
About the car?
No, about Maricela.
That's what I'm saying about being in the car.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
She went to my house, had sex, she was cool. Left her in my room, I went to the studio next to my room, right? That's where your studio was, right?
Yes, sir.
You said that Nina and Lisa were at the house asleep, right? Remember that?
Yes, sir.
I got up the next morning and everyone was gone. You thought Marcella had took her? Ooh, that's what you told the detectives, right?
Yes, sir.
And now you tell the members of the jury that was a lie?
It was a lie.
Okay. And that's a lie that's different than the lie you told Dax, right?
Well, I told Dax about the car situation. I never told him about anything pertaining to what happened in the house at all.
Huh? Right. Well, you told Dax you dropped her off, that would be a lie.
Yes, and that's what I said, huh?
That's
I wrote that. Yes,
That's
sir.
different from this lie.
Yes, sir.
You recall telling them that you bring plenty of females to the house?
Yes, sir.
They go to sleep and you go to the studio. Remember that?
Who goes to sleep?
The girls go to sleep in your room, right? And you typically go to the studio.
You talking about Lisa and Nina?
No. I'm trying to get you to remember what you told these detectives
Yes, sir.
and how it's different from what you told the members of the jury today.
I just wanted to clear. I understand what you were saying. That's why I'm asking.
Well, will you just agree with me that you told the detectives something totally different?
I'm in agreement with you. Yes, I.
That you told them a different lie, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That basically you brought her over there, y'all had sex, you went in the studio and fell asleep. Next thing you know, she was gone that next morning, right? That's what you told them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it was only after the detective Ramirez started pressing you, you remember them talking to you about the death penalty?
Yes, sir.
Now you did tell them that Lisa said something about that y'all should just keep it in the house, you know, not bringing other girls over, right?
Yes, sir.
You told her that, and then that's when she started talking about Lisa was jealous, correct? Just if you remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay. Do you remember asking her, was this a mistake? Was Marcella getting killed a mistake? Do you remember asking you that?
Yes, sir.
You remember telling them you didn't touch that girl?
As far as like,
Marcella, you didn't touch her, referring to you didn't kill her.
yes, sir.
All right. You said that they came in the room and started arguing with y'all about the girl and drugs. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
That's what you told the detective Ortiz and Ramirez, right?
Yes, sir.
That Nina and Lisa came into the room and were arguing, right?
Yes, sir.
And before we go into the version that you talked about Lisa having this knife, I just want to make sure we're clear that as far as Nina is concerned, today you're telling them that she never even came in the room. She was in the bed, spooked, like she was afraid, right?
Yes, sir.
Because according to you, it was Lisa that was acting crazy and killed Maricela, right?
That's what happened.
And would you say that? Well, let me just make sure I'm clear. Because you told the detectives that at some point you wake up because you feel the movement. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
I think you told the members of the jury this. and Lisa straddled over her with a knife,
Yes, sir.
and she's stabbing her.
No, I must have been already stabbed because she was coming back down. I didn't see her, just, she was coming back down already. That's what I seen.
Do you not remember telling the detective she had one hand on her neck and had the knife and she was stabbing her? Just
I
remember?
I don't remember just saying she was stabbing her.
Do you remember her saying,
I remember
you
that.
saying
I remember that part, yes, sir.
she had one hand on her neck? She was straddled her, she had one hand on her neck, and she stabbed her. Remember saying that?
I didn't say she stabbed her, I said she was motioning down like she was going to stab her.
Okay. You think if you listen to that tape, that'll refresh your memory? If you listen to your interview, you think it'll refresh your memory? What you told the detectives about when Lisa, according to you, straddled Maricela with a knife?
I've heard nothing. I've heard it.
You heard it?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to refresh your memory on exactly what you said?
About the stabbing part?
Yeah.
I know what I said.
Okay. Okay, before we, because I want to come back to that, but before I do, I want to make sure that I'm clear that at some point, because you met with not only the detectives, you met with the DAs numerous times, right? At least 3 to 4 times, right? Going over your testimony for the jury, right?
The DA who
The DAs with your lawyers.
I mean, the prosecutors?
Yeah, prosecutors.
Okay, yes, sir.
You met with them at least, what? How many times you think you met with them and your lawyers so y'all could go over your testimony for trial?
Five times.
And remember the first time you said you left in the Tucson, right?
Yes, sir.
That was a lie, wasn't
Yes, sir.
it? They had to correct that, right?
Who had corrected it?
The state. The DAs.
No, I corrected it.
After they showed you where you went to the oil change place, right?
No, I knew I left in my car. That's my car.
That's not what you told me the first time. You
No,
lied.
I told you I lied. Yes, sir. I did lie about that. I said I was in the Tucson. I drove off in the Tucson.
Okay, now let me make sure I get specifically on Nina, because I want to make sure we're clear. You told the detectives that Lisa was stabbing her, you intervened, they were struggling, you knocked them off the bed. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
At some point, you were able to break them loose. Maricela falls on the bed, you pin Lisa against the wall. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
But before you talked about pinning Lisa to the wall, do you remember talking about when you tried to separate them and you said that Nina came in and she also attacked Maricela, didn't you?
I didn't say she attacked her. I said she came in though. Yes, sir. Did.
You said they both attacked her. Did you?
No, sir. I don't recall that.
Well, did you know that Nina got charged with capital murder? Nina and Lisa got charged with capital murder based on what you said.
Yes, sir.
So Nina got charged, falsely accused of capital murder based on your testimony, based on what you told the detectives, based on what you initially told the state, because you said she came in and helped Lisa.
Yes, there's a reason behind that.
Your Honor, I'm just gonna object, defense counsel is misstating, the facts. The capital murder warrant was not based on what Mr. Beltran said. It had already been issued, and she had already been arrested.
You can have the witness on redirect, it's cross-examination, he can answer if he does.
Well, as a part of their investigation, a part of the information that they were using to hold Nina Morano was based on what you told Detectives Ramirez and Detective Ortiz. And you told her that Nina came in that room when Marcella was being attacked, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And now, we know that's not true. Don't. Don't.
Yes, sir.
Nina had absolutely nothing, even in your version, Nina had absolutely nothing to do with this alleged stabbing where you're saying Lisa stabbed Maricela, did she?
Repeat that one more time, please.
In the version you gave today,
Yes, sir.
Nina Morano had nothing to do with the murder of Maricela, did she?
No, sir.
You knew that then when you said she did, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
But you lied, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Do you at least remember the detectives, before you gave this version about Lisa stabbing Maricela, they said it was going to be your word versus their word. Remember that? You got two attorneys versus you. You remember them saying that?
That's gonna be their word versus my word?
No, that you have two attorneys that are giving their version, because they made you think that they had already talked to Lisa and Nina. You knew they'd been arrested, right?
Yes, sir.
When you're talking to Ramirez and Ortiz, right?
Yes, sir.
They're making you believe that these ladies have already given you the monster up.
They never told me anything about them talking to them.
Okay, but I'm just asking, do you remember in your interview where they're saying you got the two attorneys are going to give their version, and this is your only chance to give yours? You remember that part?
Yes, sir.
When she's trying to get you to give another version other than the initial version that you gave, right? Because they kept telling you, we already know. Right?
Well, they were saying that they knew more than I was telling them. Yes, sir.
Right. One of the things Ramirez told you is that your blood was with Maricela's blood. Remember that?
They said there was blood in there. How would it get in there from me? That's what they asked me.
You don't recall her asking you, why is your blood with Maricela's blood?
No, she said, why would my blood be in the room?
That's what you think?
That's what we said, sir.
Okay, you need to listen to the tape to refresh your memory?
We're gonna play it.
Are you telling me that you did that Ramirez never told you that your blood was with Maricela's blood?
No, she asked me, well, if there's blood in the room, why would there be my blood in the room? That's what she asked me.
You remember saying, well, I must have got cut. Because you said, no, my blood shouldn't be in no room. You said, I must have got cut.
Yes, sir.
But you're specifically telling this court, this jurors that Detective Ramirez never told you that your blood was found with Maricela's blood.
No, she said, why would my blood be in there? I guess that's implying that my blood was there, but she didn't say it like that. She was just saying, why would my blood be in the room? And I said, I must have got cut.
But would you agree with me, it's after she makes you believe that your blood is in that room that you give the version about Lisa in the night?
Yes, sir. Because I thought I must have got cut when she was doing what she was doing to Marcella.
Judge, may we approach?
Okay.
That was close.
Can I approach you?
You may.
I want to talk to you specifically about this version that you say, Lisa is actually on the bed, right?
Yes, sir.
When you wake up because of the movement, right?
Yes, sir.
And now you're saying, did you see her stabbing her or not?
No, she was coming down in stabbing motion.
Okay. And then what happened?
That's when I pushed her off.
You pushed Lisa off of Maricela.
Yes, sir.
Did they both hit the ground?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember saying that they both were still wrestling, tussling with each other on the ground?
Well, when I pushed Lisa off, she must have had a hold of Maricela because they both rolled over.
They rolled over on the ground.
Yes, sir.
All right, your bed is here. They rolled over on the ground.
Describe where you're at again.
Let's figure out the left side of your bed. Let's say,
I just want to make sure I get everything clear.
all right, your bed's against a wall, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let's say that's your wall.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you're in your bed. You're on the right side, right? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You're on the right side. Marcella's on the left side.
She's on the side.
This side. Okay, she's on this side. The wall's here.
Yes, sir.
All right. At some point, you say you wake up and you see Lisa with a knife straddled over her. You remember to tell them that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you're saying you don't remember whether you told them she had one hand on her neck.
No, I do remember that.
You do?
Yes, sir.
You told her one hand on her neck and you saw a knife.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you knocked her off,
Yes, sir.
and they would have fell to this side.
Yes, sir.
All right. And when they fell, they kept tussling, didn't
Well, they were, Marcelo was trying to get up.
they? Trying to.
Yeah, I guess
And
you
so
said
they-
tussling. Yeah.
Right. Well, no, that's what you said. Didn't you tell them they were still tussling, and they eventually stood up?
Yes, sir.
And that's when you knocked Lisa onto the wall, right?
Yes, sir. I jumped on the bed.
And you knocked Lisa onto the wall, didn't you?
Well, I pulled them apart and I pinned it into the wall. Yes, sir.
You pinned who to the wall?
Lisa.
You pinned Lisa to the wall.
Yes, sir.
How did you pin Lisa to the wall?
Like, I just grabbed her. Pulled her.
Show me.
Keep your voice up, all right, Mr. Girlfriend?
Show
Yes, sir.
me.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I need him to show me.
That's fine.
Show me how you pinned her to the wall. After you break them up, show me how you pinned her to the wall.
He can stand down, that's fine.
You already cleared, you can stand. Show me how you pinned her to the wall.
Well, one.
Lisa, yeah, you break them up,
Yes, sir.
and then what?
She had a hold of her hair, so like, you know how when you let something go,
Mm-hmm.
she just fell back.
Okay.
And she fell
And what'd
back.
you do with Lisa?
I grabbed her like this and I, no,
Okay.
like this.
You pinned her to the wall.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But she has blood all over her, right?
Yes, her nightgown is all over her.
And when they're on the floor, they're tussling, right? Because you said Marcella had blood all over her chest, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But Lisa's on that wall, right?
Yes, sir.
And I want to make sure I'm clear, when you talk about them falling up or you knocking them off the bed, you knocked them off the bed and Marcella's trying to get away from her, isn't she?
Yes, sir.
So she's on the floor trying to get away from Lisa, right? She's on the floor trying to get away from Lisa, right?
Yes, sir.
Eventually they work their way up, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's when you're able to get Lisa off.
Yeah, in between.
All right. And Marcella falls onto the bed is what you're saying.
Yes, after the pull, the reaction, she just tumbled over.
Okay. And both these ladies have blood all over, right?
Yes, sir.
As they're tussling in that room.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you about when you would go over there. It wouldn't be unusual for you not only to take girls, you took guys over there too, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
A lot of times without them even knowing it, right?
About who knowing?
Listen,
Like, just people being over there in
Yeah.
general?
mhm.
Yes, sir.
You remember Lisa, what she was really upset with you about is you let some guy stay over there. She didn't know he was over there, and she ran into him, didn't she? Remember her confronting you about that?
No, sir.
You don't remember her confronting you about some guy in your room, in her house, she didn't know, and she ran into him. That's what she was confronting you about. Remember that?
No, sir.
But you don't, I mean, you don't deny that you had, did you tell this member of the jury that you had one of your homeboys stay over, him and his baby mama?
Yes, sir. I think people still.
All right, so again, as far as you, when you came, you come in through the garage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go straight to your room, sometimes straight to the studio, right?
Yes, sir.
You may not even talk to Lisa, correct?
I'll say hi to her.
Well, on this night, y'all didn't say anything to Lisa.
No,
or
they're
anything, did you?
in the room. They're in the room.
Right,
Yes, sir.
like many other times you brought women over there, right?
Yes, sir.
You remember telling the detectives, hey man, y'all can look at the ring camera, I bring women over here all the time,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think you indicated to the members of the jury that when they come to that room, they're gonna have sex, right?
That's not intentionally, but it ends up happening. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, that night, when you're down at Deep Ellum, with Maricela, you guys are in your car, you're not just smoking weed, right?
No, it wasn't.
Y'all drank a whole bottle of Grey Goose, didn't you?
No, sir.
You didn't tell them that y'all drank a whole bottle of Grey Goose?
No, I said we drank very goose, but I said we drank a whole bottle.
All right, well, what I'm getting at is, when you took Maricela out to the house in Mesquite, just like many other times, it wasn't just you and Maricela, you had somebody else with you, didn't you?
No, sir.
It was you, Maricela, another male, and another female, wasn't it?
No, sir.
Wasn't it?
No, sir. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but.
Well, okay, let me ask you
Is that what
this.
she told you?
Let me ask you. What are those, pictures of the skull?
I mean, they have video footage of me and Maricela just leaving. They were just, and at 7-Eleven, it was just us two.
Well, that doesn't prevent you from picking someone else up on the way over there, right? When you were with Maricela the last time you saw her, or when we saw her on that video, she has her teeth, doesn't she?
She had her teeth.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the video. I mean, the photos.
She has her teeth, doesn't she?
Yes, sir.
Who, if this is her skull and her teeth are missing, who knocked her teeth out that night?
Yeah, that's your client, yes, sir.
Well, you were there with Maricela. You, whatever other male that left blood there, and whatever other female that left blood there, and Maricela, y'all were in that room. Who knocked her teeth out?
You saying there's another female in there with me and Maricela?
That's what the blood says.
Wow. I don't know what the blood says. I never seen anything about anybody else's blood in the room.
So you're saying you never knocked her teeth out? Because you didn't get violent with her like you've gotten violent with women in the past, right?
I never got violent with anyone in the past.
Well,
Sure,
don't
you
you,
have to keep your voice up.
Oh, sorry about this.
well, don't you have an assault, family violence on that we talked about earlier?
Yes, sir.
And what happened when you pulled the gun on the person in the robbery?
Nothing. It was, I was young,
You think
trying
that
to get
is,
some money, didn't have no bullets in the gun, just wanted to scare somebody, get some money.
you think that excuse is because you was young? You pulled a gun on somebody?
No, sir.
Okay. So you don't know anything about her teeth missing?
No, sir.
And you don't know anything about why some other males and some other female's blood would be in that same room as Marcella's blood? You don't know anything about that, right?
You know, if you have samples, if you tell me the names, I could probably,
That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying you don't have anything, any idea about that, right?
no.
But you do know she had her teeth when you last saw her, right?
Yes, sir.
In that room, right?
Yes, sir.
And she lost her teeth as a result of struggling in that room. You're saying you don't know nothing about it, right?
I don't, sir.
And is that because you were so high and drunk?
No, sir.
As far as your rap career,
Yes, sir.
Lisa was investing in you, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
I mean, she got you a studio, so you didn't have to go and waste the money that you were making at, what do you say, it was Twisted Root?
Twisted Root, yes, sir.
She got you a studio with a lounge chair, and she was investing. She believed in you, didn't she?
Lounge chair.
You had a lounge chair in the room, in your studio, didn't you? Did you have, what type of chair was that in your studio?
Futon.
A futon?
Yes, sir.
Futon. She believed in you. She supported you.
Yes, sir.
Right?
She did. She loved me. She was obsessed with me.
But let me ask you in reference to you're telling the police that she was jealous of you and other women. She knew that you messed around with other women, didn't she?
That was our agreement.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And the manner in which you messed around with other women is depicted on your video, isn't it?
Say it one more time.
Is the manner in which you messed with other women is on your video, isn't it?
What, the music video?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And how you well, they were talking about the lyrics of your video. And the types of videos, or the fact that video was actually made at the Mesquite location, right?
Yes, sir.
Would you jump on? Let me get this part. Judge, I want to offer what's marked as defense exhibit number 7, which is a 2-minute clip of Picture Me This. Is that the name of your video?
Yes, sir.
That's the name of your song?
Yes, sir.
The song we've been talking about earlier?
Yes, sir.
Judge, I want to offer defense 7.
You could tender it to,
State, I'm sorry, Judge, state has no objection.
all right, defendant's exhibit number 7 is admitted for all purposes.
Can you tell me if this is the video that you put out on the internet?
Bitches stay on my dick. question. How the fuck could you ignore this? Oh, you don't know me? My name is Chuck Gorgeous, and I stay on some bullshit, probably cause I'm a tourist. So stay the fuck from me, from make your body do aerobics. And I'm a street nigga, so I stay with a toaster. And it's always with me like Rick and Morty. And hey, why you speaking on that shit, my nigga? Okay, you right there, you right there. That's another story. Let's talk about how I'm blowing up quick, yeah. Cause my shit is lit, yeah. Got your baby mama dancing to my shit, yeah. Got your grandmama dancing to my shit, yeah. Got the stripper bitches stripping to my shit, yeah. And you over there hating on me, bitch, yeah. I told your ass I'm some motherfucking shit. I ain't got nothing to say to you, like, real shit. You already know what's up. Stay on my flick, middle finger out the whip. One who said I would be sick, bitch, you need this. Bitches stay on my flick, middle finger out the whip. One who said I would be sick, bitch, you need this. Yeah.
Now, as far as some of the lyrics in the video, when you're talking about stay the fuck from me before I make your body do aerobics, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's threatening people, right? Oh, let me just be more specific. When you talk about keeping a toaster on you, what is a toaster?
It's referring to a gun.
Okay. And in reference to when you were apprehended in Utah, they found a gun in that room, did
Yes, sir.
with your DNA on it, right? You knew that, right?
Yes, sir.
And just so we're clear, you kind of minimized the Santa Morta earlier. You didn't start practicing that till you got in prison, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And as far as your Santa Morta connections and you practicing Santa Morta, Alicia and Luna knew about that, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
That influenced them to start practicing it, right?
No, I didn't influence nobody.
Okay.
Practicing.
So would you agree you led them believe that you had contacts that could potentially be threatening to them?
No, sir.
Isn't it true that there was a time when Lisa tried to get you out of the house, but you forced your way in? You remember that? You remember breaking the door?
Hold on, say it again.
Do you remember forcing your way into that house?
Into-
Or into a door in that house?
No, sir. What was the reason behind?
Well, no, what I'm saying is you're trying to make it seem like you're a nice guy when the truth is you have a violent past, don't you?
I'm saying, I'm asking what would be my reason to break into a door?
Because she asked you to leave.
No.
Just if you remember, if you don't, you don't.
No.
Okay.
That never happened.
But you also agree with me that one of the main reasons you said you lied is because you didn't believe anyone would believe that you had nothing to do with Marcella's murder, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, someone with your criminal history,
Exactly.
someone with your appearance, with all the tattoos, I mean, you got the teardrop, right?
Yes, sir.
And people probably assume
Well, it's
that
not a
you're,
teardrop, it's a mouth drop.
In terms of what?
It's just a drip on my mouth, like a little drop.
Oh, so it's not like when they put the teardrops to represent murder, right?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. And you're saying that's why you lied?
That's what I lied about.
About what happened?
Yes, sir.
And you say no one ever hit Marcel in the mouth in your presence, right?
No, sir.
Because we know Lisa couldn't knock her teeth out, right?
I don't know.
Okay. And as far as Lisa, I know that y'all said that y'all had gone to the concert. Remember that? When y'all went to the, when y'all went to perform in Arkansas?
Yes, sir.
But she still had open wounds, didn't she?
Who?
Lisa?
I can't recall.
Oh, okay, you don't know? As far as Nina is concerned, once Lisa had the surgery, you weren't very much help, were you?
I was on you.
Right. But Nina actually came down to help her too, didn't she?
I don't recall.
Okay. All right. Did you approach?
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're gonna take a break and get the other AC unit in here and try and cool things down a little bit. We're on a break for 10 minutes.
All right.
I dozed once, and they got me, but no, I've been back.
Take two on this, Judge.
Two.
Do it now? Yes. Yes. In case you ever heard of it. we go around the other way.
Let's go ahead and ask you about the blood. And then we'll ask you about
Four? I was hoping we were gonna be done with this today. I don't think we are by 4. If we're close, I feel like we're close. We'll just roll on through. I'll send a mini-me in my stead.
10, 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay, we're ready.
You have enough to
Yeah, I do.
at least proceed for the rest of this afternoon.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, sir. All right, well, we lost the PAs. All right. Is that all then? We are ready to
Yeah, that's
adjourn.
it.
I've become my grandmother with these hard candies. Sugarless, no, sugarless, right? We're ready.
All rise.
All right, you may be seated. And Mr. Harris, you have the witness on cross. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, sorry, we were taking care of some other business. That's why the break was so long. So we are ready to proceed.
Okay, Ms. Beltran, I'll let you listen to some of your interview with Detective Ramirez. In the interview, again, you tell them that both Lisa and Nina attacked him, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you were scared, you ran out of there.
Yes, sir.
And when you said attack him, you're referring to Maricela, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Also, in reference to the knife, you remember her asking you to describe the knife?
Yes, sir.
You really couldn't describe the knife, could you?
I described it.
What did you say about the knife?
It was a kitchen knife, regular kitchen knife.
Okay, all right. What happened to the knife?
I don't know, sir.
You said you came in, they were struggling, right? Lisa was still trying to get at her. You broke them apart. What happened to the knife?
I don't know what happened to the knife.
You didn't take the knife from her?
Take the knife from who?
From Lisa?
No, sir.
Because she didn't have a knife. She never was in the room. But you know exactly who was in the room, don't you? Don't you? Other than you and Maricela, correct?
You said somebody else was in the room?
Yes. Someone else was in the room other than you and Maricela, weren't they?
No, sir.
All right, let me ask you this. After you left there, you told the detective that you called Brian, didn't you?
Yeah, I made that up. I lied on that story.
You lied.
Yes, sir. That's what I've been telling you. My testimony on it when I was talking to the detectives. Yes, sir. I lied on it.
Was a lie.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And well, it wasn't a lie that you went back to Carmen's apartment, right?
No, sir.
isn't it true that, Marcella went back there with you, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
Look, I'm not trying to, I don't wanna trip you up or anything, but what I'm asking you is, at some point, Marcella went to Carmen's apartment with you, didn't she?
No, sir.
All right, make sure you heard what I said. Because it wasn't just you, Marcella, it was something, you, Marcella, and someone else going back to Carmen. Who is Carmen?
It was my girlfriend at the time.
She disappeared after this, didn't she?
Like, she just moved.
Because she didn't want any parts of this. She didn't want anyone questioning her about what happened when you came to her apartment, right?
No, it wasn't that. She was just, she didn't have no papers to be here legally, so she didn't want to get in trouble.
And she didn't want anyone asking her questions about her apartment,
No, that wasn't the case.
or checking her apartment
No,
to
that
see if there were any traces of Marcella at her apartment. Because you left Mesquite, and they know that because of your phone records, right? You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
You know that your phone records show that you went to Carmen's apartment, right?
I mean, the phone record showed all of us being at the house, Mesquite.
No, I'm not talking about it, Mesquite, I'm saying, phone records or not, you, after you left Mesquite, by what time did you leave Mesquite, do you remember? Just if you remember, if you don't remember, that's fine.
It was early morning.
Okay, but at some point, you go to,
Carmen's.
Carmen's,
Yes, sir.
and then you go to the oil change place.
Yes, sir.
And you go to the oil change place, you know, basically as an alibi so somebody could see you, right?
No, sir.
Without Marcella, right?
No, sir.
And then you go down to Deep Ellum and you conduct, you know, your day just like you would normally conduct your day, right?
No, sir.
I mean, you do go to Deep Ellum that day, right? Isn't that what you told the members of the jury?
Well, that night.
Or would you be surprised that, what is it? What's Miss Valdez? The girl, yeah, Madeline said that she met with you that afternoon.
After the incident,
On October 5th. She met with you that afternoon.
no, it wasn't that afternoon, it was later on in the day. We met. We did meet that day, but
And she said that you were normal, you didn't act like nothing had happened. Right?
yes, sir.
Remember her calling you that morning? Madeline, did she call you about 7 in the morning?
Not that I recall.
She called you all that night, don't you remember that?
No, no, sir.
Y'all were supposed to meet up and go to Club Ecstasy, remember?
I remember we were supposed to meet up, yes, sir. I
But
do
you
remember
didn't, okay, and you're saying you didn't know that she was trying to get in contact with you that night?
I mean, maybe she was, but I was dealing. I had,
As far as,
myself.
we talked about y'all smoking weed, but you used ecstasy too, didn't you?
Not that night.
I'm saying that you used ecstasy, you had access to ecstasy, didn't you?
Let's say that one more time.
You had access to ecstasy.
Not that night, though.
Okay. And as far as, the marijuana was concerned, you were selling marijuana, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
And as far as Detective Ortiz, talked to you about your criminal history, he made it clear that there was a chance you could get the death penalty, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
And after listening to the tape, Ramirez was telling you that these girls were gonna put everything on you, didn't he?
Yeah, if they could try to put it on me. Yes, sir.
So you better take this time to cooperate with them. Remember that?
Say it one more time.
You better take advantage of this time to cooperate with them, before they put everything on you.
You saying that's what I was thinking?
No, that's what she was telling you.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
Do you remember telling the detectives that Marcella had passed out when you went to the studio? Because you were fucked up?
Yes, sir.
Then you woke up and everybody was gone?
Yes, sir.
That was a lie?
Yes, sir.
So as far as Nina never came in the room and pushed you away, did she?
No, sir.
That was another lie?
Yes, sir.
And I guess, from what you remember from that night, as far as, you're saying Lisa was the aggressor, right?
You talking about as far as the?
This stabbing that you say took place.
Yes, sir.
And you're telling the members of the jury that, did you actually see the stabbing, or you saw the blood?
I seen the blood.
But there was a lot of blood.
A lot.
And when you say a lot of blood, does Marcella have her clothes on?
No, she's naked.
So she's naked and blood is all over her,
It's just on her chest area.
all over her chest area. And there, just so I want to make sure I'm clear on how are they tussling in there?
Well, that's why I said when I pushed them off the bed, they roll over. So I guess they must have. That's where they got the blood from. That's where they got the blood on her blouse.
Her blouse.
Yes, sir.
They rolled over.
Yes, over the bed.
Cause you push them hard, right?
I pushed Lisa. Yeah, pushed Lisa up. I tried to push Lisa off of her.
But Lisa has Marcella,
Yes, sir.
and they tumbled onto the floor,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And Marcella's naked
Yes, sir.
with blood all over her chest, right?
Yes, sir.
Which transfers to Lisa, right?
Yes, sir.
So you got Lisa with blood on her, Marcella with blood on her, and they're tussling on this floor, right?
Just trying to get up. Yes, sir.
Trying to get up with Marcella's naked body with blood, right?
Yes, sir. On her chest. Yes, sir.
You are able to push Lisa onto the wall, right?
Yes, sir.
But you get blood on your hands, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because you're getting in between them, right?
Yes, sir.
And you pin her against that wall, but you don't know where the knife is.
No, sir.
But you do know that you pin her against that wall.
Yes, sir.
And there was a lot of blood
Yes, sir.
on Lisa,
On Lisa, yes, sir.
on Marcella,
Marcella.
and on your hands.
Yes, sir.
So much to the fact you had to go in the bathroom and wash it off your hands, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you were in shock.
Mm-hmm.
All this blood.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, as far as when you're in there with Maricela, why don't you just lock your door?
I don't know if I locked it or if it wasn't locked or locked.
Well, if your door was locked, Lisa nor Nina could have got in there, right?
Oh yeah, they always get in there.
How would she get in your door if you had locked your door because you were worried that she was being jealous of you bringing other women over there?
And I changed the locks to my studio and my room because of course, her son comes over there and Val, and they're hardcore druggies, so they be looking for any little thing they can get. So I always lock my thing, but she always had a spare, just in case I lost mine. So if I did lock it,
So now you're saying, she used her spare key to get in the room?
I'm saying if it was locked, she could have.
So when you, Maricela, and whoever else may have come over there, because you didn't knock her teeth out, did you?
No, sir.
But you agree with me that until Detective Ramirez started asking you about whether the girls were jealous of you bringing girls over there, you said nothing about that, did you?
Nothing about what, the jealousy?
Yeah. You didn't say that until she said it, right?
No, I think I brought it up. About them not wanting me to have girls over. And that's what made her be like, well, you think they were jealous?
But the truth of the matter is, not only did you have girls, you had guys, you had people over there all the time, right?
Yes, sir.
And the early morning hours of October the 5th, you had more than just Marcellus over there, did you?
No, sir.
We just have to take your word for it, right?
That's what happened.
No, we have to take your word for it, right?
That's what happened, sir.
We have to take your word, just like Dak took your word that all you did was go to the car and have sex with her, right? Correct? We have to take your word, just like Freddie did when he asked you about the girl from Seattle. You said you don't know nothing about it, right?
No, I said I didn't know nothing about her history.
Well, we have to take your word for it, just like Detective Ramirez and Detective Ortiz would have had to take your word when you said that all you did was take Maricela over to the apartment, fell asleep, y'all had sex, she fell asleep, you went in the studio, woke up the next morning, she was gone. That was a lie, right?
Yes, sir.
But we have to take your word that that was a lie, correct?
No, I mean, they didn't believe it. That's why they kept on pressing me like, you know more than that, you know more than that. That's why I started telling them the truth.
Because they had physical evidence, right?
I don't know what evidence they had, sir.
They were telling you they had evidence, right?
They said they had some blood
And the blood that they told you they had your blood
in Marcellus.
in your room.
Yes, sir.
And that's when you made up this story about Miss Lisa Dice, didn't you?
No, that's the truth. That was the truth. That's when I started speaking the truth.
The truth that this version has actually led to your murder case being dismissed, right? You know your case is gonna be dismissed, don't you? Based on this version.
This is the truth.
That's not my question. You know your case is gonna be dismissed based on this version, based on you cooperating with the state, right?
Yes, sir.
And even though you never told Lisa, Nina, whatever other male or female was there to do anything with Marcella's body, did you?
No, sir.
But you still pled to tampering, right?
Yes, we discussed that.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Because you lie when it's convenient for you to lie, isn't that true, Mr. Beltran?
No, sir.
And right now it's convenient for you to lie because you don't want to have to face a jury like this and have to respond to questions about whether you committed this murder or know who actually did commit the murder.
No, the reason I'm on the stand is because I chose to be on the stand. I wanted to tell the truth.
Same truth you told Dax?
No,
Same truth you told Freddie?
I'm telling the truth that was a lie.
One moment, Charlie.
Sure.
Judge Everly, that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Beltran.
Any redirect?
Oh, sir, just one other thing.
Yes, sir.
I think you told the members of the jury earlier that, when Lisa found out about, you and Nina having sex, that, Nina stopped talking to you, right?
Yes, sir.
That's because that's what you're saying, Lisa was upset and made Nina stop talking to you, huh?
That's what Lisa did.
So Lisa was able, you want the members of the jury to believe that Lisa was able to coerce, Nina, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that she told her not to, she's the one that set us up, so she let her know like, hey, don't be talking to him like that. And when I come to the house, that's what it was. She couldn't talk, she couldn't speak to me.
So Nina just did whatever Lisa said, right?
Mm-hmm. At that time.
And as far as, that Audi, you left the Audi in the garage, right?
When?
At some point, after you switched cars, you went and got you initially said you left in the Tucson, but you didn't, right?
Yes, sir.
You left in the Audi, right?
Yes, sir.
At some point, you took the Audi and just left it in the garage, right?
No, we switched cars. We met and we switched cars.
When?
Like days after.
So days after.
Yes, she called me, said the Audi might be hot. I don't want you to get caught up for something that you didn't do. Switch me cars. That's what we did. And I had the Tucson ever since.
But I thought you didn't see her for weeks
I didn't say it.
after all this happened.
I didn't say that.
She was calling you, you wouldn't respond, remember?
No, yeah, I wasn't responding.
As far as Detective Ramirez is concerned, when she led you to believe that your blood was in that room, you told her you must have got cut.
Yes, sir.
You knew you hadn't gotten cut, didn't you?
I didn't. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is my truth is when Lisa was on top of her, when I pushed her off, I could have got cut. That's why I said that. That's the truth.
Okay.
That's the reason why I said I could have got cut.
And just so the members of the jury are clear, you never turned yourself in, right?
No, sir.
They came and got you in Utah, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's your testimony that these, Nina and Lisa weren't afraid of you at all, right?
Say it one time.
Nina and Lisa weren't afraid of you at all, were they?
Oh, no, sir.
You never threatened them, right?
No, no, sir.
That's all I have. Thank you, Judge.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, I need to send you back to the jury room briefly.
All right.
You want me to?
We're missing Sadler. All right, thank you, sir. Do you have a key to the jury room?
Yes.
All right.
Come on.
And Judge, I just want to reserve the right for you to call Mr. Beltran.
All right.
Just say if I
Mr.
need.
Beltran, you need to go back there.
I'm gonna move her this way a little bit.
Obviously, I would let the court know far in advance.
You would need him on Monday?
It's possible, Your Honor.
We'll probably take this one.
Okay. All right.
Judge, are we done for today?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have another witness you can put on for the next few minutes? or-
I don't, Judge.
All right. All right, then, we will, oh, y'all may be seated if you want to, sorry. All right, then I'm gonna take a few minutes and I'm gonna bring it back in. I'm reprinting their jury instruction. Thank you, Ms. McIntosh and Mr. Weatherspoon. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you,
And
Judge.
I guess,
You too.
you're on standby in case Mr. Harris, wants to visit with your clients again.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Please be sure to mark your time down all day.
Okay.
All day. You know, if I tease you guys, it comes out like that.
Judge, before we bring the jury in, could we go on the record just for one brief thing?
Mm-hmm. And if I tease you, Ms. Pittman, it means I like you. If I tease you, it means I like you.
It always means that.
Right? They're in conference. Almost done with today's masterpiece. Masterpiece. Coloring.
Coloring.
Yes, but it gives me a crick in my head. As I said earlier.
I should do that when I'm secretary. I doodle a lot in my notes.
So if you're, they were, the notes, and you're sort of like, circling.
Okay. Marissa, do you have any,
I can go get you some
would you mind, please? Thank you so much. No, Mr. Sadler, we were wondering where you went.
Dress room.
All right. All right, well, Marissa wants to get new paper, and you wanted to put it in the right.
Whenever we,
Okay. You mind grabbing my glasses? You're awesome.
Thank you.
I'm gonna offer these two exhibits.
Okay.
I'm staying close so we can keep the air on.
Oh, yes.
So that way you can hear me and keep the air on.
All right, we're back on the record outside the presence and hearing of the jury. Mr. Brown.
Yes, Your Honor. I wanted to offer states 336 and 337 for all purposes, the dismissals for Charles Beltran and Nina Morano for the murder cases. They're both signed by the court, file stamped, and certified copies. and I've tendered to the defense for any objections.
No objection, Your Honor.
For all purposes?
Yes, Your Honor, and I can re-offer them again for the jury if we show them again. I just wanted to go ahead and have them in evidence since we talked a lot about the murder charges being dismissed.
Right. Then,
Did you wrote down those?
I'm sorry, what number is it?
336 for Charles Beltran's dismissal and 337 for Nina Morano.
All right, those two exhibits are admitted for all purposes.
Your Honor.
What was 335?
I think that was the passport application that did not
Oh, yes.
get admitted or authenticated, so I can,
That's all right.
it may come back up, so we'll just keep it, I guess. You have it, Robert?
That's fine, no worries. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
wasn't
if it was
missing.
it offered?
I want to offer it for record purposes. Then.
Oh,
That way we just, because we've talked about it,
okay.
and Your Honor, also at this time I'll offer States 335, Charles Beltran's passport application for record purposes only.
All right, so our outside defense hearing of the jury, States Exhibit 335, the passport application is admitted for record purposes only.
Maybe.
Yeah, likely.
No, right?
No.
Separating for you or for me?
Not trying to get back in order.
Got it.
Trying to find it. There it is.
There it is.
No, I'm trying to get back in order for you. Whatever we've been. I'll stop whenever we're ready. Yes, I found it.
All right, Mr. Tether, if you could speak to one of these on all of the juror chairs.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no. Sure.
So if you need help, I'm just sitting over here like I have nothing to do.
No, I'm just trying to get all this organized whenever we break.
I know, I was gonna help you, but I wanna let you go. Six is the back.
Six the bag. Five is the discs.
Five is the demonstrative
The demonstrative, the calendar.
calendar.
Then the bag. 7, 8, 9, and then 10's the
And
disc.
CD.
Alright, so before you put the evidence in, what things that you
You would like to look at, Judge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me. One, two.
Yeah, I did.
Six.
If you could look at, 301. 302 and 309.
There's 303. That's handy.
No,
You wanna see the D?
no,
301
301.
is the cell phone.
No, then 301, and then if I could look at,
And then 302 is just this. And give me half that. 302.
and then 277 and 283.
Two, what was it?
287. 277 through 283.
277.
You have them over there.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. 277 to 283.
This one, I think the front of the name backlog. All right, we're ready for the jury. Yep. No,
Finish it up when we get back in here.
you can turn it. ready.
All rise.
You may be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are done for the day. We will resume testimony on Monday. I have given you another copy of your juror instructions, and that is because you must follow the court's instructions. You cannot do any independent research. As much as you may want to, you cannot discuss any testimony that you've heard with anyone. If you do, it would most likely cause a mistrial. And you know all of the time and effort that has gone in to getting this case to trial. We have had witnesses who have appeared from across the country. It is your duty and your responsibility to make sure that you abide by each and every one of these instructions over the weekend. Now, I hope you all have a restful weekend. We are going to have a cold front come in, hallelujah, so even if the AC isn't fixed, today was the most miserable. I think that will be, and we all survived it. First world problems. All right. I expect you back in the jury room no later than, we'll say 9:30 a.m. Monday morning. There's always stuff going on Monday morning. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, one question. I'm participating in a race over the weekend that may or may not go by some of the locations that we've talked about. I'm not sure that it does, but it
Okay.
might.
Well, I appreciate you letting me know. As long as a race, is it a running race or
Yes,
bicycle?
It's the Dallas Marathon and Half Marathon.
Well, aren't you an overachiever?
I promise.
You're over the age of 25, so you're definitely an overachiever running half marathon or marathon. You know, just don't pause and just run the race as if you were just running past anything else, and there you go. It is what it is. We all live in Dallas, and if you run by one of those areas, just keep trucking. All right, and don't trip and fall and hurt yourself.
Because I actually run that race too, long,
Are you
long,
really?
long, long,
Oh,
long.
yeah, yeah, you used to.
Long, long, long time. It doesn't go long term.
All right, well, I wish you well in your race. Are there any other questions or issues before we break for the weekend? And if anything comes up over the weekend, you all have my cell phone. Please don't hesitate to call me. You know, God forbid if anything happens. Other than that, I will see you Monday morning at no later than 9:30 a.m. Thank you so much.
All right.
I did, I renumbered. Yes, sure. Y'all have a good weekend. Thank you.
You too.
I think we're all gonna hit the pool.
Ice baths.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thank you all so much.